The story kicks off with Jennifer Walters sitting in her office when her phone buzzes. She glances at the caller ID, and her eyes light up. "Finally," she exclaims, turning to her assistant. "I have to take this, Andy. Give me 5 minutes, then send somebody in." Without wasting a second, she grabs the phone and answers, her voice full of anticipation. "Reed, I thought you were never going to call me back." On the other side, Reed Richards' voice comes through, sounding neutral. "Sue said I had to." Jennifer smirks and asks, "Where are you with catching that thief?" Reed sighs, his tone a mix of gratitude and warning. "Jen, I've already thanked you for your help, but everything about this case is classified. You can't be involved." Jennifer's expression turns serious. She leans back in her chair and takes a deep breath. Then, in a swift moment, she transforms into She-Hulk, recalling the incident from the previous night. How that masked thief had pushed her out of a building window, taunting her. She shakes her head, focusing back on the call. "Reed, that guy pushed me out of a building. I'm already involved. I'm invested. I want to help you catch him." Reed hesitates, but then, as if he's already tired of arguing, he says, "We've put together a team." She-Hulk interrupts him with determination. "I should be on the team." Reed, trying to reason, responds, "Why would we assign you to the team when you're the one person we know he can trounce?" She-Hulk's expression shifts to annoyance. Trounce is a strong word. Reed, trying to steer the conversation elsewhere, offers awkwardly, "If you're looking for a pleasant distraction, I've invented a board game." She-Hulk's face falls. She stares at the phone, feeling shut out. "I have to go, Reed. Thanks for calling me back." She ends the call abruptly and sits quietly, clearly frustrated and deep in thought. After a few moments, she decides she won't let this go. She picks up her phone and calls Ben Grimm, who answers cheerfully, "Jenny?" She-Hulk's mood instantly brightens. "Benji, where's it going down tonight? I've got itchy knuckles." Ben chuckles and replies, "I'll send you a pin." Later that night, She-Hulk arrives at the location Ben sent her, ready for action. The area is dark, with tall fences and security lights flashing overhead. She glances around, muttering to herself, "I could just Hulk jump over it, but there's no such thing as a stealth Hulk jump." She's carefully scanning the area when suddenly she spots a figure sneaking around. A masked thief. It's Scoundrel. She-Hulk's eyes narrow as she sees him stealing a jar of glowing uranium. She yells, "Hey!" Scoundrel turns his head lazily, looking over his shoulder with a casual expression. "Oh, hey." He slowly lifts his mask off, revealing a smirk. "It's you. I was looking for you inside." She-Hulk, confused, takes a step closer. "Why were you—" She stops mid-sentence, feeling the strange pull of his magical energy swirling around her. She shakes her head, trying to clear the sensation, and refocuses, shouting, "Whatever you're here to steal, I can't let you get away with it." Scoundrel flashes her a grin, lifting the jar of uranium slightly, as if showing off a prized possession. "I already did. Look." She-Hulk clenches her fists, stepping forward and pointing at him. "Drop that, and put your hands in the air." Scoundrel tilts his head, clearly amused. "Drop it?" He holds it tighter, his smile growing wider. "You don't know what this is, do you?" She-Hulk replies, her tone firm, "I know it's not yours." Scoundrel chuckles softly, pretending to ponder the situation. "This is so difficult. On one hand, they've already set the dogs and helicopters after me. On the other, I really want to dance with you again." She-Hulk's patience snaps. She lunges forward, swinging her fist at him. "That wasn't a dance!" But Scoundrel moves effortlessly out of the way, his smile never fading. "Oh, sweet pea, that was a waltz." She-Hulk grabs his hand, trying to lock him down, but he twists out of her grip, placing the jar gently on the ground. "Let me just set this down," he says lightly, then straightens up, holding his arms out in a mock surrender pose. "I'm all yours." She-Hulk glares at him, every muscle tense with rage. "What are you?" she yells, swinging a hard punch at his jaw. Scoundrel rolls with the hit and springs back with a quick kick that catches her off guard, knocking her to the ground. As she struggles to get up, he smiles and says smugly, "Obviously, I'm a thief. She-Hulk grits her teeth, pushing herself off the ground. What makes you so... She lunges again, landing a solid punch to his stomach. Strong? Scoundrel stumbles back, but then steadies himself, still smiling. Not just strong. She-Hulk tries to punch again, but this time he catches her fist effortlessly, holding it still with just one hand. Invulnerable. She-Hulk's eyes widen as she feels her arm bend painfully under his strength. She gasps, "NFF! How?" Scoundrel winks playfully. Magic. Before either of them can move again, a long, flexible hand snakes out of nowhere and snatches the jar of uranium. Both She-Hulk and Scoundrel turn in surprise to see Reed Richards, his arm extended, holding the jar securely. Scoundrel's expression changes from amused to annoyed in an instant. Damn, he curses softly. Then he turns back to She-Hulk, smiling charmingly despite the situation. Till next time, Green Eyes. With that, he bolts, disappearing into the shadows before either of them can react. Reed, still holding the uranium, turns to She-Hulk, his expression a mix of confusion and frustration. "Jennifer, what are you doing here?" She-Hulk glares at him, her frustration boiling over. "Stopping your thief, Reed, obviously." The next day, She-Hulk is having lunch with her friend Hellcat. They're sitting outside at a small cafe. Hellcat sips her tea and asks casually, "So how's Jack?" She-Hulk shrugs, taking a bite of her sandwich. "Jack? He's fine." Hellcat raises an eyebrow. "Fine. He's still all charged up and moping and giving you the rogue gambit treatment, right?" She-Hulk sighs. "I mean, yeah, there's still all that. But otherwise he's fine. He's taking some classes, cleaning up nuclear waste in his spare time." Hellcat gives her a suspicious look. "You're being weird, Walters." She-Hulk rolls her eyes. "I'm not being weird." Hellcat, leaning closer, insists, "You are. Trust me, I'm a detective." She-Hulk smirks. "Not the world's greatest." Hellcat narrows her eyes, trying to read her friend's face. "Are you seeing someone else?" She-Hulk, feeling cornered, looks away. "Of course I'm not seeing anyone else. I mean, I'm seeing people. I'm helping the FF with something." Hellcat tilts her head, confused. "What kind of something?" She-Hulk hesitates, choosing her words carefully. "Top secret government stuff. Espionage, possibly." Hellcat frowns. "Possibly?" She-Hulk shrugs. "It's been a real puzzle." Before she can explain further, her eyes catch a familiar figure passing by outside. It's Scoundrel, dressed sharply in a business suit, casually strolling down the street. She-Hulk's entire demeanor changes. She stands up abruptly, nearly knocking over her chair. I have to go, Pats." Hellcat's jaw drops. "You have to go?" She-Hulk nods quickly, already moving away. I'll call you, or text. I'll see you next week." With that, she dashes out of the cafe, Hellcat staring after her in shock as She-Hulk runs down the street, hot on Scoundrel's trail.